What's up guys, I'm Will, and welcome to my channel. I want to challenge myself. I want to learn some of the most proclaimed hardest songs on guitar. And I know that the term hard is relevant from guitar player to guitar player. There's just a catch. I want to learn these songs, but only using my ear for music and the original recording. No live performances, no tutorial, no sheet music or tab, and no other artist interpretation. I think these challenges are great for all types of guitar players. I think it's good to challenge yourself in general on whatever it is you're doing, because that's how you move along, that's how you progress. So without further ado, let's get started, and I hope you enjoy the ride. Alright guys, so let's get started with this. The first song that I've decided to challenge myself with is going to be the solo for Under a Glass Moon by Dream Theater. Of course, the guitarist is the legendary John Petrucci. One of the most influential guitar players, especially in prog rock. I have not learned any Dream Theater song. None. No riff, no solo, no nothing. So this is all new to me. Alright, so let's get into it. that was really good there. Sounds like he starts off with a bend. I think it's the 12th fret. Okay, so sounds like he's pulling off to the open and then coming back down. It's really quick though, or maybe he doesn't even hit that. Maybe it's just that. I have to listen to it again. That sounds about right, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's move on to the next part. Alright, so this just sounds like he's playing the same notes just a few octaves down from each other, and they sound kind of a little spread out, so I figured out that it's this set of 4 notes, and I'm pretty sure he's just playing it the next octave and then the next octave up after that, down after that. My apology. So let me just try that real quick. I think that's it. Let me just give it another listen to. Yes, that is it. At least to my knowledge, that is how it's done. Then he ends off with an open E there. Alright, so let me just play what I've got so far. We'll move right along. Alright, sounds pretty good. Next part. Yeah, so it's 5, 4, and then 3. Wait. Oh, he's so quick at that. That's really quick descending motion there. think it works above those group of notes right there. So. Okay, there's a really tasty riff he does right after this descending, picking craziness. And the chord I recognize, it sounds like it's right here. Yeah, that's it. Pretty sure that's it. And let me just see what I can work out from it. Alright, so after a little while I figured out that I'm pretty sure it's this. Alright, that was awesome. Okay. Alright, so another run, just not as fast as the other one. Sounds like he's ascending the scale this time. Let's see what's going on. Alright. Alright, that's some craziness here. I've learned a lick like this before in another song, and it can be difficult at first to get under your fingers, but after a little while of practicing it, it's pretty easy to speed up. And it's just something that goes like... Pretty sure I learned it off of a Richie Kotzen song, or maybe even Greg Howe. I can't remember. It was one of those guys that I learned that particular lick off of. He's just doing it way up the neck. Probably sounds like he's doing it close to there. So. And then he goes into like this. Alright, so another run here. I hear some chromatics in here. Just give me a few seconds to figure this out. Pretty sure he goes with a slight pause there. So he just kind of, with a slight pause, going from the 14 to the 13 on the A, and then grabbing that 16 on the D string. So... Okay. I like that. That could almost be like a start of another guitar solo. I really enjoyed that first part. Alright, let's move on. Let me actually try and figure out the guitar solo here. Alright, so after a little trial and error, I came up with... Sounds pretty good to me. Let's move on. Let's see what the master has in store for us next. Alright, it sounds like we've got some sweep picking and legato and even a little taffet going on. Okay, let's get under this. I can't wait to get this lick underneath my fingers because it is really cool. We got this. That was a lick right there. Alright, so almost 100% positive he has a floating trim, and I do not have that on this guitar. This is not a floating trim, it has a trim on it, but I have actually lost the bar, and I don't have it, so I'm not going to be using the bar for this song. I've heard it beforehand in the song on a couple notes here and there, but here it seems like it's kind of important, but I'm going to try and work my way around it. And usually when I hear these types of things, I go for pinch harmonics, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it just sounds kind of like he's pulling off. It sounds like he's just kind of pulling off. I think that's as good as I can get for a guitar with no floating trim on it when it calls for it in the song. But hey, you work with what you got. Just because you hear something and you're like, oh my god, I need that for the song. And no, you don't. Work around it. And that's how a lot of guys have learned their own style of playing. They hear something and they might not be playing it exactly like their favorite artist was, the artist they were listening to at the moment to get that lick down. But they found a new way to do it, their own way, and they put their own little spin on it, and that's where all these different hybrid guitar patterns and combinations come from. Guys doing the same thing I'm doing, figuring something out by ear, only using the original recording. A lot of times back in the day, they only had the record or cassette and the needle or the stop and play button and rewind and boop, zip, boop. You know, you do what you had to do, you learn it, you learned what you heard, and you really gained an ear for music, and I think it's really important, and that's what this challenge is all about. It's about learning to use your ear and figure things out on your own, and I don't suggest starting with something this complicated and complex. I started with, the first thing I had to learn, I was about 2 years into playing, and I had found, I was flipping through the channels in my living room in my parents' house, and this guy lit up the screen and he was talking, and I was like, it's a British man talking, and then he goes, yeah, bash, and then you got this kaleidoscope view of, at the time I didn't know, but Jimmy Page ripping up Since I've Been Loving You in this live version, and it blew my mind. It made me want to become a guitarist. Before that, I was just a casual guitarist. That performance made me want to be a guitarist in life and knew that that was my calling. And there was no sheet music transcript, online guitar lessons, there was no covers on YouTube. I bought the track on iTunes, and I remember going on camping trips with my dad, and just at night I would have that in my ear, looping that first 8 seconds, to just so I could hear it. And when I got home, I'd learn it and do the same thing there, and be like, okay, he's here, now he's there, now he's there, and it really, really transformed my playing after learning to do stuff. I ended up doing that whole Song Remains the Same live album that way, and it's really fun to do. And all that stuff is under my fingers now, and I know it, and the licks are really awesome, and he's not just playing just random pentatonic stuff all the time. Page is a master of the guitar, and one of my favorite improv guitarists next to Guthrie Govan. I think they are just impeccable at improv. Yes, they are two totally different types of players, but that's okay. Anyway, yes, please, please, please learn music by ear. It is very rewarding. This sounds like your regular, sounds like he's climbing up the neck, but I'm not exactly sure. I don't think he starts way down here. If he's doing that lick, I think he's probably, I'm pretty sure that's where he starts. I'm just gonna listen to it a few times and try to figure this out. I think that's it. Let's figure this last part out. Alright, so another one of these runs. Oh, another one of these runs. Alright, this sounds very chromatic to me. I learned a lot of Guthrie Govan, and I can tell you right now, this sounds incredibly chromatic. Even Brett Garsett, learning his stuff, I can hear the chromaticisms in there, and I'm just not sure where it's out in the neck yet. I'm gonna fiddle around and figure it out. Oh, I think I got it. So, wow, I'm so off. There's a lot of work to do here. I got the notes down, it's just getting it in time with the band itself. I don't think it sounded that good, but that's alright. I got the notes, I got them under my fingers, and I want to thank everyone for watching that does watch. And just remember to challenge yourself. That's how you got where you are in your craft today, by challenging yourself. And don't forget, if you like the video, just hit the subscribe button, the like button. That would be great. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good night. Remember, be yourself.